Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families announced staffing shortages for childcare providers across the state. This causing providers to not be able to serve at full capacity. Experts say almost 60% of providers have unoccupied spaces, such as closed classrooms, because of these staffing shortages. If schools were at full capacity, the gap would be closed and they could serve about 33,000 more children. There are 48,000 kids on wait lists in Wisconsin, providers reported in the survey.